All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, from promotions from WWE to AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA. And we're going to talk about some awesome, wrestling news to kind of hang over, your head heading into the weekend. All right. So first, we're going to talk about our main headline. We have Ricochet, former WWE Intercontinental Champion, believes that his leaving for WWE to AEW was the right choice. Not really. Not really a surprise there. I feel like Ricochet really deserved to be in the WWE. Deserved to be in the WWE, but they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do any, they didn't do crap. The booking was bad. Their matches were terrible. They had this like, all right, let's let Ricochet shine on speed. We're gonna let him fight 3-minute matches. We're not gonna let him fight on Raw. We're not gonna let him fight on SmackDown. And if he does, he's gonna lose and kind of be a jobber, a glorified jobber. And it just wasn't good enough. It just wasn't good enough. WWE overall tarnished the reputation of Ricochet. I like to compare it to, imagine if you're that kid, playing with other kids and like you see somebody have a cooler toy, like Ricochet was metaphorically, where he was killing it on the independence scene. He was being noticed all over the world. And then WWE's like, we got to sign this guy, but not to promote him, not to make him a champion. Like they made him a champion once, but dude, come on. Like, come on, an Intercontinental Championship once, WWE Speed Inaugural Champion. Yeah, that, adds to the resume, I guess. But overall, something's got to give. And, they wasted Ricochet. WWE absolutely 1,010% wasted Ricochet. So, I don't know. It's just, kind of crazy. All right, next we have Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes is interested in a rematch with Roman Reigns, and a lot of these people don't really, a lot of wrestling fans, and I feel like it's going to shift. I feel like for professional wrestling, they kind of stick it to wrestling fans, obliviously have them root for the bad guy, have them root for the person that they were wishing to lose at WrestleMania 40. You could have a match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, or maybe perhaps you kind of have Cody coming off as like, like a little corporate, kind of jerk here, which I really honestly don't think that they should do. But then you have Roman Reigns, coming back as a true tribal chief. But overall, it could be something that's been, I don't know, just been speculated for a long time. So I don't know. It could be kind of crazy. All right. So once again, we have Shane McMahon in the news about him possible some AEW people to join his faction besides John Moxley. Obviously, you have a lot of people, a lot of talent on AEW, like Daniel Garcia, Brian Danielson. He is part of the Blackpool Combat Club, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that. You can also have a lot of people outside in terms of free agents, like Bobby Lashley could possibly be the person to do that. But it's not the easiest thing to do. Not the easiest thing to do to have someone like Shane McMahon come in and be like, I am Vince McMahon's son. You are always are going to have your dad's name attached to your name throughout your whole entire lifetime. And it's something that it can't be avoided. And it sucks. It sucks 1,000% because you are not like your father. Shane McMahon is actually quite the opposite. He's a loving family man. He's not the person that tries to seduce Trish Stratus and other WWE allegedly, into coercing him into like sexual acts or anything like that. But I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. All right, next, Matt Cardona is in the news saying that he is not medically clear to fight on TNA Emergence, but he does have a surprise, a surprise opponent for PCO. Matt Cardona, ever since he made his debut back into Ring of Honor or TNA, but it's just such a wasted talent, such a wasted WWE talent. Once again, you got Nick Nemeth from WWE, and then you have Matt Cardona killing it. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy, kind of crazy. All right, so Mercedes Moné eyes forming a tag team with Megan Thee Stallion. A lot of speculations recently in the wrestling world stated that Mercedes Moné was looking for like another entertainment partner. Obviously, Megan Thee Stallion is, bigger. She's I don't want to say the next great thing because I'm not a huge fan of the music, but overall, if somebody from entertainment wants to associate themselves with an AEW wrestler, it can only be good things. It can only be good things. All right, next we have a little sensitive subject here. We have Arden, Chig, Vix, Chicks. I don't know. Uh, he's the husband of Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella, yeah, Nikki Bella, who's been accused of of battery, and Arda alleges that Nikki Bella threw shoes at him, leading to his arrest. When it comes to certain things that I can't even say this without like trying to like make it go the wrong way because it's so hard. But overall, like, don't abuse your wife, bro. Like, don't like, don't, like things could be, allegedly, like, just, be a good person, and that goes for absolutely everybody tuning in tonight. Just be a good person, be patient with your loved ones. 1,010%. Just make sure that you guys are, whenever there's an argument, you're not arguing to win. Never, ever, ever in an argument with your spouse, you are arguing to win. You're arguing to resolve the problem. Because if both you guys are, arguing to make sure the other person understands your perspective in an aggressive way, it's not really going to end up that way. But if both you guys take some time, listen to each other's feelings, swallow your pride a little bit, take a deep breath, and be like, look, like, it's kind of crazy how I'm providing a marriage counseling on a wrestling podcast, but here we are. Just kidding. Next, we have Baron Corbin. We have a major news headline. Baron Corbin says he would gladly accept a Taylor Swift, appearance with, TNA. Who wouldn't at this point? And I don't want to get into this whole conspiracy theory that the reason why the Kansas City Chiefs won the NFL Super Bowl this year was because of Taylor Swift. Although they were doing absolute ass, they were crazy, they were terrible. The moment you saw Travis Kelce date Taylor Swift, they, all of a sudden flipped the switch. I just flipped the switch. And it's, oh God, like I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. All right, so we have dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Kevin Owens' contract is still not being matched by AEW. I feel like Kevin Owens right now, he's a great superstar on Raw, SmackDown, WWE in general, but I honestly feel like he would grow better in AEW. He was the Universal Champion for quite some time, obviously, with his right hand man, Chris Jericho. And it, I can't even explain it because Kevin Owens is such a good superstar. And WWE really has not given him a chance because you have all these other wrestlers that you're trying to promote. You have wrestlers that you've kind of stuck in, like, Finn Balor, Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then on SmackDown, you have the whole bloodline thing coming into order. And, Kevin Owens, where does he fit with that? I don't think he does. If Kevin Owens makes his debut in AEW, he could very much be, within the first couple of months, an AEW World Heavyweight Champion or TNT Champion. Can I see Kevin Owens holding the Intercontinental Championship? No. Can I see Kevin Owens holding the United States Championship? I don't think so. They more or less save those championships for people that are actually like in that division and they're trying to promote in terms of WWE. But right now, Kevin Owens is kind of stuck in the middle a little bit. Doesn't really kind of, have a little bit of leverage. But I feel like Kevin Owens is such a great superstar. Will he ever get a title run in the WWE again? I honestly, at this point, looking at all the talent around him and the storylines, what's a good storyline if Kevin Owens wins the championship. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a storyline that makes sense if Kevin Owens wins the championship. Maybe if he screws over, Cody Rhodes or like something. But then again, it's just, and if you, then what are you going to do with the next PLE? What are you going to do with the next PLE if you have Kevin Owens, the WWE Undisputed Champion? He's gonna lose it, and it's just so sad. It's just so crazy. But overall, I just hope that WWE knows what they're doing. I, was kind of skeptical about him going to AEW. I feel like that'd be pretty badass, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy. All right, guys. So, hey, that's it for me today from the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Have an amazing, beautiful Labor Day weekend. Hug your loved ones longer. Play a board game. Sometimes people often, over contemplate the vision of a board game. You kind of do it for fun. Sometimes video games it's just boring. It's just boring. Sit down with your kids, have fun, get to know them, get to know, your wife again, get to know your husband again during this time. Oh my God, here we go. Parents counseling again. What the hell, man? What am I? I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just kidding. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. And if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we got football, football, football. The NFL is right around the corner, and I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear Al Michaels on Thursday Night Football. I can't wait to hear Mike Tirico, also Chris Collinsworth breaking on a play that he kind of like babysits a little bit. Oh, you can see that, through this throw, he was meaning to throw it to this receiver. Like, I love him. I'm not trying to throw shade or I'm not trying to talk mess, but I don't know. It should be crazy. Monday Night Football, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, the former Dallas Cowboy quarterback. I just can't. Football's. I love football. I love football. I'm part of multiple fantasy leagues. I have another draft coming up this week. I do have Lamar Jackson in one of my drafts. Pretty excited. So if you want to find out about all your professional football news, tune into the GSMC Football Podcast with my boy Kenneth, the GSMC Chip Chop Football Podcast with my man Manny. We also got fantasy sports, fantasy football. Find your startums, your sit-dums, your draftums, your overrated, your don't draft thems with my boy Chris Shepard on the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast. We also got my boy Nelson with the GSMC Basketball Podcast. We got Tommy, man, my boy Tommy. I don't know why whenever I say Tommy, I have this Italian accent. My boy Tommy, man. You don't want to upset Tommy, the GSMC, college football host. Like, he's going to make sure you go sleepy with the fishes. I'm just kidding, no. But overall, he has a great, if you're a college football fan, make sure you tune into that. We also have, my boy Emran coming up in a mere 24 minutes of talking all your cool GSMC soccer podcast, cool factoids. So make sure you tune into that. We got the GSMC Sports podcast with my boy, TJ Marardi. We also have Sports by GSMC by Jeremy Lapidus. So make sure you tune into that. It's basically your sports center, but it is 1,010%, absolutely 110% free. The best things in life are free. I don't know if any of you guys heard that song. I might have showed my age, showing you guys that I like that song. I'm just kidding, no. But it is Friday. I'm happy it's Friday. It's crazy. Going into the weekend, have an amazing weekend. Make sure you have fun with your loved ones. Make sure you have an amazing Labor Day weekend. Stay beautiful. Watch the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Check out my videos. Subscribe. Tune into my show. Tune into my show. I'm just kidding. No. That was a little aggressive. That was a little ambitious. I'm sorry. But overall, you guys know what I like to say. And the reason I feel for you is because you don't have to say it back. You don't have to say it back. We'll take it time after time after time. I'll give you your space, give you some time. But overall, love you.